Hello, welcome back to PokéBoys Season 6. We got the GymLocke going. We are here for leg 1. Listener, for you, it's probably only been a week, maybe 2. I haven't decided if we're going bi-weekly releases or weekly. But for us, I feel like it's been like 2 months, guys.
It's been a minute.
How long has it been since the draft?
I feel more so like it's been 3 months.
It might even be 4 months. I don't know.
It's been a while.
So long.
Yes.
Yeah, excited to be back in the swing of a PokéBoys season. It's been far too long. Dad and Kumino are here again, as always. How you guys doing tonight, Kumino? Start with you.
I'm doing fantastic. I can't complain. Birthday in about a week and a half. And
There you go.
I'll be 40. So,
Nice. And you got a new addition to the family back there behind you.
Oh yeah, got Paul's back there chilling.
Yeah, you do.
How you doing, Dad?
I'm good. I'm good. Just actually threw a surprise birthday party for my dad. My dad's 80th.
For Dad's dad?
For Dad's dad.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That's what's up.
It's a lot of dadding going on there.
A lot of dadding going on.
Met Dad's dad. Dad's dad is pretty rad. So glad that Dad's dad had a rad birthday party.
Yes.
Right.
It's very rad.
Wait. First and foremost, let me ask, did anybody blow out his candles?
He did.
No, I was asking did anybody else did it because my grandmother's birthday just passed and my aunt felt the need to blow out her candles for her. And my grandmother flipped off.
Oh jeez. No, he was he was right there in front of it. No one had a chance to steal his thunder or candles.
Nice.
She was right in front of it, but my auntie just came through with I guess like a little fan or a piece of paper and just
wow.
My grandma just hit her with the bird.
Ruined my birthday party.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, glad you guys are doing good.
How are you?
Glad we're back in it. I'm doing okay, just recently got back from a 3-week trip to Ohio where it was freezing cold and snowy, and my in-laws came back with us, and tonight is their final night here with us in Florida. I'll be taking them to the airport first thing in the morning. So I was telling Dad before we jumped in, this will be the last porch podcast for a while. We recorded a couple Showboys things out here on the porch.
Okay, I thought it was looking a little odd over there.
Yeah, camera's a little dim. My
lighting
laptop sucks outside, and even though I'm in Southwest Florida, it does get a little chilly out here at nighttime. So I got my podcasting shawl on, nice and warm. Thanks for asking. I'm ready to get into leg 1. So just a reminder, we are doing the GymLocke in HeartGold. I think all of our ROMs are HeartGold, right?
Yes, the lovely Jared.
Yeah.
He hooked us up with the HeartGold edition, in which these ROMs should be available in the Discord for anybody that wants to play along with us as well.
That's right. And just a reminder, the GymLocke, how it worked. If you haven't listened to the draft episode, which would be the first episode of the season, go listen to it. If you just need a refresher, what we did, we had a draft where we each picked 2 gym leaders from the Generation 2, and we are only allowed to use Pokemon that they used on their team in this game. So either Gold, Silver, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the anime series, or the manga. So I went and curated a list of the Pokemon that every gym leader would have available to them, and we took turns picking. We each picked 2 gym leaders, and if you listen to season 5, the finale, our little battle tournament, we kind of used that to eliminate some of the gym leaders from the list. And so we all ended up with 2. And we have a very, very small, refined pool of available Pokemon to use in the run. Like Kumino said, Jared was awesome, and he customized our ROMs for us. So we even in the draft we spun the wheel of destiny to pick our starter options. So Jared customized each of our ROMs with our 3 custom starter options from our list. And yeah, I'm excited. Before we get into the actual leg, though, Dad, did you have any? Well, first, let's recap the gym leaders that we picked. And then second, after you tell everyone your gym leaders, why don't you let us know if you had any like expectations or thoughts or maybe like a strategy going into leg 1, or if you were just like, you know what, we're just gonna see how this leg goes with the Pokemon, or did you like maybe do any planning looking up at where certain ones spawned, if you might have any catches this leg or whatever?
So my gym leaders were Jasmine and Claire.
Okay. And what were your 3 starter options? Do you remember? Actually, answer the question, and I'll look on the sheet. I think I had them marked down.
Well, I know 2 of them. I remember 2 of them for sure. Magnemite and Skarmory.
Okay.
So, funny story. Not that funny. Kind of irritating. I've been through this twice now. My first go through, I picked Skarmory first, and I played through a little bit just to kind of get my feet wet, get into the game, and then I get back into the game like maybe like days later, and no save file was to be found.
Oh no, so, it's the worst.
Yeah, it sucked. But I don't know I can't remember what the third starter option was. It might have been Onyx, but I don't know. But yeah, Magnemite, maybe Onyx, and definitely Skarmory. So I booted it back.
Your third one was Magikarp.
Oh, that's right.
Took me a minute to find that, but I did.
Yep. Okay.
So you picked Skarmory, your failed first run. Who did you pick with your second one? Did you re-pick Skarmory?
No, I actually picked Magnemite.
Oh, okay.
And I named it Big Back.
Okay, did you... So far every season, I've said that I'm going to use like a naming convention, and then what happens is like I forget and then don't follow it. But this time I'm going to try to stick to it as best as I can. Are you taking that approach, or are you just naming them whatever?
I am actually allowing my children to name all of my Pokemon.
Nice strategy right there.
And to answer your other question about going into the game, I had blank slate, no expectations, just jumping in.
Okay.
Head first.
Nice.
Twice. So
nice.
Update. It did save.
Oh, good.
Saved in game and through the emulator. So.
Oh yeah, that's always clutch.
Yeah.
always save in game and then make a save state on your emulator.
That helped.
Okay, so we got Magnemite, Big Back, Kumino, the gym leaders you drafted, your starter options, who you picked, and then if you had any kind of like strategy going into leg 1.
All right. So as the winner, always, I got Blue and I got Falkner. My starter choices was Squirtle, Sandshrew, and Magnemite.
Okay.
And like that, in which I'm guessing he remembered my strategy, because I had already discussed what my strategy was. I wanted to make sure that when I seen Whitney and her Miltank, I can give it the business.
Yeah.
And so I went with Magnemite and named it Marvin.
Oh. Are you going with a naming convention, or are you just winging it?
I'm just winging it, whatever it feels like when I encountered them. I think I got some pretty good names though.
Okay, nice. Wow, I don't know what I was gonna say. My
Well, I
gym leader.
imagine that you was going to give us your gyms, your starter choices, and who you picked.
You know what, Kumino? You're a great co-host because I think that's actually exactly what I was gonna do.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah. So I picked Bugsy, of course, and Whitney as my two gym leaders, and my starter options were Magby, Smeargle, and Igglybuff. So not great options. I have one great option, two not great options.
Right.
So clearly I went with Magby. And after I picked, before I really went in, before I really went into the first leg here, I almost thought about restarting and picking Igglybuff. So I was like, I can't catch Jigglypuff until post game. So is Wigglytuff valuable enough to wait on a Magmar until I get to I think it's the Burnt Tower? Because I can catch a Magmar in Johto. It just would be leg 2 or 3. I forget exactly when.
Let's see. So that would be Equity City. It would be leg 2. I would say keep the Magby.
That's what I ended up doing. I ended up keeping it because Wigglytuff, while it would have been a nice option to have, I looked through my other available Pokemon and kind of tried to plan out the dream team, so to speak, of what I want by end game. And I have 6 good Pokemon that I'm shooting for. So I was like, I mean, it would be cool to have just an extra usable Pokemon, but I was like, we'll keep the run going with Magby. Excuse me.
Good, because Magby will help you quite soon.
Yeah. Yes, he will. And Magmortar, I believe I will have the opportunity to use, hopefully.
I believe so.
But yeah, so my naming convention for the season, if you've listened to Showboys at all this year, you'll know that I've been on quite the war movie and show kick basically all of 2024. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to name my Pokemon after either a war movie, a war show, or a character from one of those.
Okay.
The only caveat is, of course, every time I catch a flying Pokemon, they are named after a wing sauce. It's just tradition. So if I catch any flying Pokemon, of course, I'll be picking out some wing sauces. But other than that, war shows or movies or characters from said war shows or movies. So Magby, it evolves into Magmortar, play on mortars. So I named it Pacific because a large section of that show follows a ragtag crew of mortar men in the Pacific theater of World War II. Actually, shout out Rami Malek, Mr. Robot. Elliot himself is in the Pacific. Great show. Recommend it. You should watch it. But yeah, Magby the Pacific the Magby. It was my starter.
Nice.
I did kind of look at spawn locations and kind of try to plan out what I'm going to be able to catch and when. Did you do that, Kumino?
I did a small bit because I wanted to see how soon I would get a Magnemite.
Okay.
And that was the only thing that I really looked at. Everything else, I'm kind of going off of memory, because one of the beautiful things about this is I'm having a great time remembering as I'm playing.
Okay. Nice. This is my favorite. I love Johto. Generation 2 is my favorite. The remakes were amazing. So yeah, I'm having similar trip down memory lane as we're going through Leg 1, and I'm excited to make it through this whole game. I went through and I quickly marked off 3 lines of Pokemon that I'm not going to have available to me, just because they don't become available until Kanto, which is in the post game. We're not going to cover the post game in this. So the Igglybuff line, off limits. The Pikachu line, off limits. And the Clefairy line. None of those Pokemon are available to me. So
Wow.
got them out of here. But
does that make you sad?
It would have been nice to have an electric Pokemon. Having Raichu would have been nice. But Wigglytuff and Clefable, like, I'm not like super upset about. I've never really used either of them. It would have been cool to use one of them, but
well, I'm gonna say Clefable would have been a major PowerPoint to have on the team.
Is Fairy in this remake?
No, we were not able to figure out how to implement Fairy into the ROM.
That's right.
But Clefable has always been a special powerhouse.
Yeah.
Ever since the physical special split.
Okay, yeah. That's good to know. I'll register that in the back of the brain. But yeah, I went through and like looked. Leg 2 is going to be really nice for me, like encounter wise. Like that's the bulk of my encounters right there. But yeah, I have a team kind of planned out of Pokemon that I would really enjoy using. But yeah, let's get into the leg itself. So of course we start out. Excuse me, I will tickle in my throat. Like all Pokemon games, you're sent with a fetch quest to go talk to the professor of the town, and then he sends you on a fetch quest, and of course you can't go on a quest without a Pokemon because that would be dangerous. So we all pick our starters. The only difference here with Gen 2 is, of course, you have this mysterious little hoodlum peeking in the window of the professor's lab over there on the side. And, we'll learn a little more about him later. But we choose our Pokemon, head over on our little fetch quest to go see what Mr. Pokemon discovered, right? Is it Professor Birch? I didn't write that down. Do you think I would write that down?
It was Mr. Pokemon that we was going to, but it was Professor Elm.
Yep.
Elm, that's it.
Yeah. But a quick note, because oddly enough, Jared did randomize Lyra Pokemon. What Pokemon did she have for you guys?
I don't think I paid attention. What did she have for you?
She had a Beedrill for me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So like it was funny because in the catching tutorial, you just get to see a Beedrill murk a Sentret.
Yeah.
And then like the Beedrill wants to hug you, but it comes running and slamming into you with his pincers, and it's like, well, yeah. Like I say here, I've been stabbed by a Beedrill.
Oh, yep. I hope you pack the antihistamine.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to pay attention when I fire it up for leg 2, see what she's got. I didn't notice it. Nothing stood out like a Beedrill. But I will say, well, we'll get to it actually very quickly. But yeah, so my notes narratively of this are not super detailed. But we had, I just talked about how much I love Gen 2, but like I can't remember any of the town names right now. But as we venture west and head towards Mr. Pokemon's house, we pass through the first town there. We go through the little scenic tour with the old man, who then rewards us with the running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Head up north to Mr. Pokemon's house. We get there, and of course, he has a Pokemon egg, which how this is a discovery really baffles me at this point. Like, where did these people think Pokemon came from?
You mean
Well,
they're? I don't know.
I think that's one of the things where we look at Pokemon Legends Arceus, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if we could do breeding in that game or not. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't one of them things that was still commonplace. So I figured the start of Pokemon in Generation 1, it had to not be far after that. That's what I feel. Like maybe like within 100 years, and people didn't do enough research to actually go out there and find Pokemon eggs. And if they did, they didn't really tell nobody about it and stuff of that nature. I feel like that was the case.
Okay. Yeah, so we grab the egg and take it back to Professor Elm, and I believe is it on our way back to Elm that we have our first battle with the rival, or is it when we're leaving
Yes.
again to actually start our journey?
Yeah.
Gonna
Let's
get back.
see. Because like
Because
one of the things about, huh?
I was gonna say because we encounter him before we go back and talk to Elm.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they ask us his name.
Yes, which is a great way to do the naming.
Right.
Yeah, so I lost against my rival because he chose
even Dad shot. We like,
Dude,
wait, what?
Okay, so he chose Cyndaquil as his starter, and it knew Thrash.
Wow.
Yeah, the moves are insane. Jared also tweaked the moves. Just so you guys can know when you want to jump in, just understand. Like it's also for your Pokemon as well, because I can't remember if certain Pokemon Magikarp. I'm not sure if it can actually learn tackle, if it was supposed to learn tackle in this generation. I know in the later generation, I want to say it was actually 6 that it could start learning tackle. But I was able to get Magikarp with tackle in this game.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is nice. Yeah, so needless to say, when Cyndaquil used Thrash and obliterated me in like 2 turns, I was a little surprised.
Wow.
R.I.P. to the run.
yeah. Jared, I wrote down Jared has it out for me. I was also fighting a Rattata that knew Return and Flame Wheel. What is going on?
Yeah, I was like, what? When did Rattata learn Flame Wheel?
Yeah, dude. So that was fun. I guess we should. Are either of you doing any sort of like permadeath for your team? We already have like a very tight, like squeezed pool of Pokemon to use. But I don't know. I still haven't decided really if I want to do permadeath or not.
Okay, so the way that we initially talked about it was like, these small time trainer battles, it wouldn't be consequential, but the major battles would be the consequential ones. That's the way that we had talked about it, because me personally, I don't like the concept. Like, I feel like this is a restrictive playthrough, but I guess I can deal with it, because
you want to do gym leaders, and like rival battles.
Yeah, gym leader, rival battles. I guess rocket executives. Okay. Maybe.
All right. Yeah, we could talk. We'll talk through it. But luckily for me, we haven't got our Pokeballs yet, so didn't have to restart here. Yeah. So how did you guys fare? By the responses, it looks like you handled your rivals pretty easily. You didn't have to fight a Cyndaquil.
How many?
Thrash.
Did he just have one Mon?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Joey that had the Rattata with the flame wheel.
Oh yeah, freaking Joey. What do you remember? Who your rival's starter was? Was it Cyndaquil also, or?
Yeah. Because in my notes I got on the way back to the creepy Peking dude tries to jump me, but Marvin and I are always about that action and put him and his Cyndaquil down with one thunder shot. In that
nice.
he dropped his trainer card, and I learned that it is none other than here go the name Venom. Yep,
Oh,
that Venom.
Venom.
Oh,
Shots fired.
Wow.
That's right. Pow pow, shots fired.
Dad, do you
I'm just glad it
recall?
wasn't Dad.
Do you recall who your rival chose as his starter?
No, I didn't write it down.
What did you name your rival?
Kumino. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I named him Douche.
Douche. Okay, interesting. I named my rival Kumad. I tried to combine you guys, Kumino and Dad.
Nice.
Okay.
Though Dumino would have been cool.
You know what? Yeah, that actually sounds
but-
cooler.
Man,
But
It makes it
Kumad,
sound truly evil.
yeah, that's true. Hindsight is always 20/20. I've learned.
I want to
Yeah.
rename mine now. Mike-ano.
Well, I mean,
I mean, both of our
That's
names
a-
are Mike. You could just call us. You could
Mike,
just
Mike.
name him Mike.
Mike.
right, Mikey Mike. You know.
There you go.
But being that we are on emulators, you do always have the option for cheats, and you can change the name that way.
Okay.
There you go. So of course we encounter a rival, and 2 of the 3 of us beat him handily, and returned back to Elm with the egg and the discovery. I didn't tell Elm about that part of my encounter with Kumad. I was just like, oh yeah, that guy with the hair. Yeah, that was Kumad.
Kumad.
Funny how both of us got short black hair, but somehow we got red hair now. Just
Right.
Ah,
Right.
what?
How's
Yeah,
that
exactly.
work? We're redheads.
So we give him the egg, and Professor Elm's like, "Oh my gosh, I never knew these things existed. I thought Pokemon just spawned out of thin air and were created. I'm gonna have to do some research on this. Go become a Pokemon master or whatever they tell us to do when we're 10 in the Pokemon world.
Send the kid to do an adult's job.
Yeah. Yes, Dad.
So, why? Just a side tangent question, whatever. Aren't there mammals? Like, wouldn't some of these mon be considered mammals? Why are they laying eggs?
That's true. That's a
okay.
good point.
So for the anime and
This is going to be like the whole season. We're just going to speculate on why Pokemon eggs are the way they are and why they did not know about these. That's just the whole season.
Loophole,
Right.
man.
I
Plot hole.
only seen Pokemon eggs, so I couldn't tell you.
It just hit me. I'm like, well, why are they eggs?
There
But
are,
Eevee. Eevee is clearly
a mammal.
a fox.
There are dogs. There are
Deer.
yeah.
Yeah, whales. Like it's
Leviathans.
Well, right.
That-
So many Pokemon that's supposed to be
The
just
aspect of
popping out
death
babies.
itself. Yeah.
so many questions.
I never actually thought of that, Jeff. Wow. Jeez, this is just going to be a very mind-blowing season, guys. You just want to
Pokemon is busted. It's busted.
Yeah.
Right. We need to get a remake for this remake to
Yeah.
fix some of this explanation.
So like,
But-
little baby.
honestly, for us, all the way back in whenever this came out, what, like 2000 or something? 99. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to
late
say 99.
90s. Pokemon eggs were mind-blowing. This mechanic didn't exist in Generation 1, and we're like, what? Pokemon eggs? And then when they hatched and they had Togepi, a baby Pokemon, and then you accidentally bred your Pikachu and you got a Pichu, a totally new baby Pokemon, and you started seeing, I think, Cleffa, Magby, Elekid, Igglybuff, Pichu, Smoochum, and Togepi.
Did Smoochum come this generation?
Those are the only baby Pokemon I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know if they all came in Gen 2 or not, but like when that egg hatched for the first time and you got like a baby Pokemon, my mind was blown. I was like, what? This is awesome. So as much as we joke about the egg thing, it introduced a very like mainstay mechanic. Like breeding is a huge thing today. You know, people are breeding for shinies, they're breeding for EVs, like perfect stats. Like that was introduced here. I mean, this is the remake, of course, but a literal game-changing mechanic, which turned out to be pretty cool. So yeah, we're sent on our journey, and we're making our way over to get our first badge, take on Falkner. So basically, we have to backtrack back west and north. And did either of you have any encounters as we made our way? Is it Violet City?
Yes, I did.
What'd you come across and catch?
Okay, well, actually, it wasn't a Sentret that Lyra and her Beedrill murdered. It was a Rattata, actually, that they murdered. But just while pacing back and forward, I ended up finding a level 4 Pidgey, and I named it Pectricia, because it pecked things, and it was a girl. And while I was leveling her and Magnemite Marvin up, nighttime rolled up, and I caught a Hoot that I named Moon.
Nice.
And also I said, with 2 girls and a sexless Magnemite, Witness Miltank won't be able to be attracting my team at all. I'm good.
Planning ahead already.
Yes. Just big brain strats, man.
Yeah, your Kumino beats this season if he beats Miltank with no casualties. That's his only goal. That's awesome. So you have a Hoot, a Magnemite, and a Pidgey at this point.
Yes.
Nice, looking good. Dad, did you have any encounters either on the way to Mr. Pokemon's house or on your way to Violet City?
I mean, I encountered a bunch of stuff, but I didn't catch anything because I couldn't.
Okay.
Although there was someone in town.
Yeah.
I don't remember what city. I don't know if it was Violet. It was just one of the towns we went to.
Yeah, I can't remember whether it was Violet or not. I just know it was a city. I just know Sprout Tower was there. That's the only thing that I really remember.
Yeah. Well, I kind of did some exploring, and I think it might have been Violet City. But anyway, there was someone in a house that was willing to trade a Bellsprout for an Onyx.
Yes.
So I had not encountered any Bellsprouts at all. Okay. So I went south and explored a little bit. I kind of went through some ruins.
Oh, okay. You
Ruins
went Ruins of Alf. Okay.
And then I kept going. I think I went down through that and then to the right. And
so you were down over by Union Cave almost.
Yeah.
So because I wanted to do that because I could get an Onyx. Mm-hmm. I eventually caught a Bellsprout. Did not name it because I didn't care. I went back and traded for the Onyx, and its name is Rocky.
Classic.
I didn't name it that. It was just the default name, which literally. I might actually go back and change
It's literally classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. It is a classic.
Yeah.
But that was basically it. And then I went to the gym.
Okay. If you could, Dad, I would love to see your editing skills pull this off. Imagine my voice is the ESPN 30 for 30 like trailer guy. What if I told you you could catch a Bellsprout before you get to Violet City? And you didn't even have to do all that crazy exploring.
That's crazy.
Because you can. But it just takes a little patience because they're not a super high encounter rate, but right before you, like just north of Mr. Pokemon's house, before you head west to get into Violet City, those 2 little patches of grass, you can catch Bellsprout there.
Yeah.
But
well
Onyx,
as in Sprout Tower,
That's
you
right.
can get a Bellsprout.
Makes sense. Tracks. But Onyx, good pickup early on. I mean,
Although he was awful in every battle, almost worthless.
Well, despite being a giant rock snake, its attack is only 45.
yeah, not
Yeah.
strong yet. But he'll be a defensive powerhouse, and then you know you have access to Steelix, which is a cool Pokemon I've wanted to use for a while. And I got really sad when you. I'm sorry, my throat is like drying up on me right now. But I really
bad. My sinuses all drainy and stuff.
I really wanted to pick Jasmine because I wanted to use Steelix so bad.
Me too.
And I was so sad when you picked Jasmine. Because you have that Onyx like very early access there. As for me, I caught a Caterpie.
Nice.
Of course, being having Bugsy have access to Butterfree. And thinking of my naming convention, Butterfree gets access to all the like poison powder, sleep powder, stun spore, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like some chemical warfare. I'm gonna call you Cherry or Sherry, and I named it after Chernobyl, which technically not a war show, but takes place and is kind of a result of the Cold War.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got that chemical warfare. We're gonna name her Sherry.
It fits.
All right. I have a quick cliff note here. Well, it was part of my notes. In which y'all can tell me now if y'all disapprove of it. But because the grinding was extremely slow, I went and got the cheat to make the experience ×2. Is that a problem?
This guy is a little hacker over here. No, I don't care.
I don't care either.
If you like to cheat, it's fine. But
well, yeah, because see, like, okay, so what I was looking for was experience share all cheat. Because Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White 2, they all have that. But for some odd reason, this game does not have the experience share all cheat. But that's all I was really looking for. But I got this one, the lowest form that I can get ×2, because it goes all the way up to ×28. And I was like, no, right. I was like, no, God, no, I don't need that. I just need a little bit, not a whole lot. So.
Just a little bump.
Yeah. just a little bump. That's all. It's not a problem.
Okay. Well, everybody out there, just know that you guys can do it as well.
If you want to be
I would
cheaters
recommend
like
just right. Just ×2. It would be right in par with what the games are today. Matter of fact, it's actually better because you don't get to over level. You just get to do it faster, if that makes sense.
I thought
training one at a time.
So when I was going through and doing encounters and stuff, I had my Onyx in first, and then he was gonna die, so I swapped in my big back, Magneton in.
Big back.
And Onyx got a little bit of experience.
Yep. That's called switch training.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how you.
That's different than experience share.
Yeah.
Yes, it's completely different.
Yeah. So when they introduced experience share, first it used to be an item that you could put onto one Pokemon, and that one Pokemon would get experience whether or not he was in battle.
Okay.
Then in future generations, they made it apply to your whole team.
Okay.
So like you just played Sword and Shield. Every time you do a battle or anything, everyone gets experience.
Yeah.
Well, back in Gen 1 and Gen 2, until you got the experience share item, you would have to do switch training, like you were just talking about, to level up low-leveled Pokemon.
I got you.
Which becomes quite a pain, honestly.
So,
so if you want this cheat, I can gladly give it to you.
I might need it actually because Onyx needs a little love. So when we played Infinity, that's an item that we got from the professor.
And you can turn on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but like the old heads are like anti-experience share. They love the grind. They want to be punished.
Whoa!
I have
first and foremost, I have to defend us old heads. It's not us. It's the people that came like
the Puritans,
maybe a gen or two behind us, and they was like, "Oh my god, I remember my brother. I remember my cousin. They used to play this game all the time, but then I started playing the game. That's the way that you're supposed to play." No, we hated that. We absolutely hated that grind.
I liked my ideal. So we're tangenting, but that's okay because that's what we do. Sword and Shield experience share is the worst. I hate it. I stopped playing that originally before we did season 5 because without trying, my entire team was like way over leveled compared to what I was going up against, gym leader and trainer wise. And that's just because the experience share in that game is ridiculous. I kind of was a fan of the held item experience share, where only one of your team could get the shared experience. But it is nice to have it team wide. It's just I don't like getting over leveled because then it just makes the game a breeze.
Well, in Sword, I mean, I didn't mind it. It helped me out a lot actually, but not every Pokemon got the same amount of experience, just the ones that were in battle. But
yeah, they would get a little more, and then the rest of your team would get like a
little
portion of it. Yeah, but yeah, whoever was in battle gets more.
Which I switched out a lot, so that would happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot Kumino. I forgot that he hasn't played like without experience share.
Right.
I got a taste of it in Infinity before we got that item.
Yeah. So that's funny.
Yeah, but even in Infinity, when we got that item, it still applied to the whole team. So
yeah, and
once we get the item in this game, you just be able to put it on one Pokemon.
Yeah. The
grind, you got to grind up on all the wild Pokemon.
Yep, and they don't give very much experience.
So yeah, go ahead and give me that cheat code, Kumino.
All right, I got you.
How did you guys do in Sprout Tower? Any catchable encounters for you, or any interesting notes with your battles with the monks of Sprout Tower?
The most notable thing was I noticed that Venom was assaulting the Elder.
It's a real jerk, that guy.
As he does. I mean,
yeah. And then the Elder decided to jump on me out of frustration, but then Moon pecked him one time, and his whole team died. So yeah,
the peck heard around the world.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Sprout Tower is kind of cool though.
It's very cool. I like the middle part where it's kind of moving. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they say it's a giant bell sprout.
Yeah, so this is gonna be fun, Dad, because right before our interstitial between 5 and 6 was the region lore tier list.
Yeah.
And I talked a lot about Johto. I love this region, and now you're gonna get to experience it like firsthand. That's pretty cool.
It is cool. So far I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so I blew through Sprout Tower myself, obviously, because I have a Magby, and just he knows Ember at this point, and we're just torching stuff. In Sprout Tower, Sherry evolved into Butterfree, so that was nice.
Nice.
And right now, after Sprout Tower, before heading in to visit Falkner, I have a team of 2, Magby and Sherry. Did you guys do anything else before you went and took on Falkner at the Violet City Gym?
I think I raided people's houses just for fun.
Nope, went smooth to the gym and laid the smackdown with Moon and Marvin.
Nice. Yeah, this leg actually is like very short. Yeah, so went in, took on Falkner with Sherry and Pacific. They were both at level 11 at this point. Dispatched the Pidgey and Pidgeotto with ease with Sherry, actually, which is interesting. You know, got that bug type weakness to flying, but it didn't matter because Sherry knew Confusion. But Pidgeotto stalled the battle for so long because it knew rest and hit me with about 10 sand attacks while also doing like 10 double teams. So I was just missing and missing and missing, and then I would chip away some damage and then it would rest. And then I'd miss and miss and miss, and then I would confuse it, chip away some damage, it would rest. And it just went on forever. But eventually I beat it. No casualties. We went through there with relative ease, if not just kind of a pain in the butt because he took his time. Dad, how was your battle with Falkner?
It was fine. This whole gym was fine for me. Encountered all Bellsprats, obviously, and a couple Hoot Hoots.
Wow, you ain't run into no Ghastly?
No.
Ooh.
I did beat what's his face? First attempt. Nice. Although Rocky struggled and was knocked out.
Oh, that's embarrassing, Rocky.
Well, he was like level 6, I think, and he really couldn't do much. He would like show up, get hit, down to like 4 health. I'm like, all right, you're done, dude. And I got a little greedy. He didn't get too low the one time, or in this moment in this battle, and I tried to get an attack off. Didn't do much damage at all, and then I was poor Rocky was knocked out, and then Big Back had to
Adrian
sweep up the mess.
Right.
Big Back. Okay, and then Kumino, you just smoked it with Marv or Melvin or Marvin.
It was Marvin and actually I think I used all 3 of them because I got a Pidgey as well.
Which you named Pectricia, right? What'd you name your? Oh, and Moon was your Hoot Hoot.
Yeah, Moon is the Hoot Hoot and Pectricia is the Pidgey. Let's see. I headed to beat Falkner next. His gym trainers got smacked around by Moon and Marvin. Falkner was up next. He led with his level 9 Pidgey, and I had Moon step into the plate. Uproar put his Pidgey down in one shot.
Ooh,
Falkner's ace Pidgeotto hit the field and answered back with his own Uproar, bringing Moon to half health. Moon, already being in an uproar, hit hers, and not even doing half, while Pidgeotto landed another Uproar, leaving Moon on 6 health. Moon was able to outspeed and land one more Uproar for the KO.
Nice.
So I am following my previous problems of not paying attention to gender. Although Magneton is probably genderless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would feel pretty bad if I named a female Big Back.
If the shoe fits, though.
So
Right. I mean, if it fits.
Right. So I'm gonna have to pay attention to that.
That's great. So in my notes, this makes me feel better because again, I finished leg 2 probably like 3 weeks ago. So I'm really grasping at straws here. But I wrote down after beating the gym, narratively, not much is going on. Here's the recap. You're an aspiring trainer starting your gym circuit. Professor Elm's lab is robbed by our rival. His buddy, Mr. Pokemon, made a discovery that Elm can't check out personally, so he sends us. The discovery is a Pokemon egg. And after we beat Falkner, Elm asks us to carry the egg with us, as any sane and rational person would do. Here's this very valuable thing that I didn't know existed. It holds the seed of life of a new Pokemon. Why don't you carry it around with you? I know you're only 10. But just throw it in your bag. It'll be fine.
Legit.
Yeah. So that's what we do. We head over to the Poke Mart, and Elm's aide is over there with the egg, and he passes it off to us. At this point, one of the other available Pokemon that I have this early in the game is Spinarak. And I was really having trouble encountering one there on the first route. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Not the first route. It was route 31, actually. Route 30. So I went back finally, and after some grinding, I encountered one and named it Fury because for some reason spiders make me think of tanks. Don't ask. I don't have an answer for you. But Spinarak was caught, and it was named Fury. Amazing movie, by the way. Rewatched recently.
I need to watch
You
that.
need to check it. Have you seen it at all?
No.
Will this be the first time?
It'll be the first time.
Dude, it's so good. You need to watch it. And then we travel south, like Dad already did some exploring. Yes, sir. You with the hoodie?
How much more of this is like 1?
2 gyms. Did you not do?
I thought it was 1 gym.
Oh, father. Wow, you can tell it's been a while between seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have some catching up to do.
Yep, I will.
So yeah, each gym or each leg is going to be 2 gyms because
I'll just play through it right now.
Okay. Because there are 8 gyms in the standard game, and so we don't have a 3-month long season.
Right.
We cover 2 gyms per leg, and then the final episode is taken on the Elite Four. Failure. Yeah, so those of us who actually
followed the
rules, we traveled south.
It's okay. It's okay. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. We went south through Route 32, the Union Cave, and 33. As Kumino mentioned or hinted at earlier, I assume you grabbed the good rod here and the lure balls. And my man,
I thought it was the old rod.
It probably was the old rod. I probably wrote it down wrong.
Let me look at my notes. Hold on. Let's see. Guy from Komodo girl.
Wrong notes,
yes.
Kumino. Wrong notes.
Right, but it was the old rod. It was the old rod from Fishman and lure balls.
There you go. I love Dad just updated for those you audio listeners only. His name here in StreamYard to not actually a trainer.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud.
He is. He's been found out. Yeah, but you can grab the old rod here and some lure balls, which help catch water Pokemon, which is real nice. And Kumino, you caught a Magikarp, sounds like.
You know it. Yep, I caught them. I went immediately and got the Magikarp and named it Kaito. For all of my One Piece fans, you know what it is.
And you said a new tackle?
Yeah.
Convenient. That's nice. Because Dad, Magikarp traditionally only knows Splash
Yes.
until
Which
it
does
gets to level
nothing.
20. And then
And
becomes
like it would have been
powerhouse.
great if you was in surfing and you got into a battle and Splash actually did something. No, Splash never does anything.
Hey, I know surf.
That would be awesome if Splash actually did damage when you were in water.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Nothing to note for me encounter wise here. Well, we make it to Azalea Town, which is just through the Union Cave, and when we get here, some more stories introduced. We learn that Team Rocket is back, and
Wait,
it's
you
been
jumped over Union Cave?
oh yeah, because nothing exciting happened for
It's a
me.
cave.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ain't no bugs in the cave.
Yeah, what happened in the cave for you, man? Did any good encounters or notable stories?
So I explored the cave, picked up a few items, and I grabbed me a sand shrew.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I named it Felicia. So another girl for the squad.
There you go.
You're really going anti Whitney, huh?
Yes. Joey called about his Rattata, whatever. The egg hatched, and it is a Togepi. Hence the reason why I asked you the question that I asked you earlier. I did name it Noodle, but I put it in the box. I went back to the Pokemon Center and put it in the box because I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So that was before we started the episode, right? And you had asked if Togepi would be kosher with your team because which gym leader was it?
Falkner, he used a Togetic in Stadium 2. And which Stadium 2 came out in Gen 2, but we playing HeartGold, which is Gen 4. So
no. Yeah, and my answer to your question was I compiled the list of the Pokemon they used in Gold and Silver or HeartGold, Soul Silver, the anime or the manga. So any side games like Stadium or things like that, I did not put those Pokemon in. So if anyone else has any sort of questions like that, feel free to ask. But also feel free to do whatever you want because it's your playthrough. We are the only ones forced to follow these strict rules.
That's right.
But yeah, so you caught a Sandshrew, named it Felicia. That's exciting. Anything else?
That was it.
Okay.
Went on to Azalea Town.
Yes, and it sounds like Dad is catching up right now.
He is.
So
did your save not save again?
It did not.
Oh. How far back are you?
Well, he only beat the first gym, so.
Can you hear me clicking my mouse?
Yeah, we can hear the music of it, or the like in-game clicking options.
Oh. So yeah, that's awesome.
That's not good, man.
I don't know where else it would be saved. Like,
wait, so you mean to tell me it's fresh again?
Uh-huh. Like it didn't save at all. Like it started over.
Well,
but you said you did some save states, right?
Well, hey, now you'll be able to name your rival whatever you want.
Yeah.
We'll help you. We'll get it figured out for you. Yeah, so we get to Azalea Town, and we learn that Team Rocket is back, and it's been 3 years since they were disbanded, according to a fellow we meet named Kurt. And for those of you who have played through Generation 1, we actually were the cause of the disbanding of Team Rocket. So this gives us a little timetable in terms of where these games like fall with each other. Gold and Silver takes place 3 years after what happened in Red and Blue. But yeah, so Kurt, he's like, Team Rocket's back, and they're harvesting Slowpoke tails over in the well. We got to go get rid of them. And he runs out of his house. And his little granddaughter's like, you should go help him. He's an old
Right.
man.
Please go. Right. Please go help my granddaddy.
Yeah.
Please.
All he does is know how to make Pokeballs. He can't battle Team Rocket.
How
So
do
we
acorns might I add?
That's true. It's true. So many game-changing mechanics added in this generation. So yeah, so we head over to Slowpoke Well, and we see poor Kurt just laying on the floor, hurt because he's old and
Kurt.
climbing down a well. Probably not a good thing for our seasoned citizens to be doing. So he
Right.
asks us to go take on Team Rocket and get them out of the well. So that's what we do. How was your time with Team Rocket here in the Slowpoke Well, Kumino?
So I was using this to essentially level up Kaido, and by the time I was done, because I like some healing, of course, because at the end of the day, it's still a Magikarp, and a Magikarp can't tackle you that hard.
True.
But got him up to level 15. So
nice.
Yeah, that was good. But for Proton, it went real smooth. He used his Zubat on me. That gave me a little bit of trouble. But for some odd reason, Coffin went down to 1 tackle.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was like a glitch or something of that nature, but hit tackle and it died. So
yeah, I killed him I took care of him. I didn't kill Proton, but I destroyed his team with ease. But his coughing, you didn't get to experience this because you one-shot it with tackle, but it knew thunder. Dude, I'm telling you, Jared has it out for me. He's loading up these early Mon with some ridiculous moves.
That's incredible.
It just used poison gas on me. So if it had thunder, why wouldn't you thunder the fish?
he tried to hit me with thunder, but either I survived or it missed. But yeah, so we knocked out Proton. We got Team Rocket out of the well. Hopefully they're done with these Slowpoke tail shenanigans. But yes, Dad, this is where the Slowpoke tails, the one that Kumino harvest for hours and hours in Bushido.
Yep.
That's where they came from.
That's awesome.
Yes, yes, good Slowpoke tails.
Yeah,
I
so
we chop some myself afterwards.
it's like you know what, they were actually onto something here. Yeah, so we head back into town and go back to Kurt's workshop. Tell him what happened, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome. By the way, I make specialty Pokeballs. So if you find any apricorns, make sure you bring them here." So if you've been noticing those, Jeffrey, on your run, those trees that you can pick the apricorns from.
Yep, I did that while I was exploring.
Yeah, you can.
I've got no proof of it, but I did it.
You can actually give those to Kurt here in Azalea Town, and he'll make specialty Pokeballs with them.
Sweet.
Much like the lure balls, they all have better catch rates under certain conditions or for certain types of Pokemon. So that was pretty cool. Pretty interesting
situations.
Yeah, very, very cool thing that they added again in Gen 2, where your mind was just blown. You're like, wait, there's more than Great Ultra Balls. There's Heavy Balls and Premier Balls and Lure Balls. Like, what is going on? This is so crazy.
Fast balls? Oh my god.
Yeah. So like my little let's see, this came out in 99. So like my 12-year-old brain was just like exploding left and right. I was like, baby Pokemon, specialty Pokeballs. What's next?
I was more excited for Pokeblu. I mean Peekaboo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Pulled the rug out from under us on that one. But yeah, so at this point, there's really not much left to do than to take on Bugsy. But speaking of Bugsy,
did the egg not hatch for you?
No, I just threw it right in the box. I'm not able to use Togepi, so I didn't even bother with it.
Okay, well, I had went back and showed him the egg. Well, showed him Noodle, And
What
what?
did
Now
you
that
show him?
I say it out
Pause.
loud, it does not sound right. Show him the noodle.
I have so many
No.
questions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, I showed him the Togepi. There we go. And he gave me an Everstone.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good to know.
And on the way back to Azalea Town, you know the hiker that's right outside the cave?
Mhm.
I had skipped him. Well, I forgot that I skipped him, so I had to battle him. But
Oh,
in
nice.
this battle, Patricia evolved into Pidgeotto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is exciting. So having Bugsy, I was like, I can catch Heracross. And you get Heracross in Gen 2 by basically headbutting any tree.
Yes.
And you get Headbutt from a move tutor inside a move tutor inside Elix Forest, which is the forest right outside of Azalea Town. So I was like, I know there's the far-fetched like little mini game to get cut to like advance through the forest, but maybe this move tutor is before we need cut. So I went in to look around. He's not. So my plan to get a Heracross in leg 1 did not come to fruition, which made me sad. So I was like, whatever, we're gonna go take on Bugsy. Did you do anything else besides go show your noodle to Mr. Pokemon?
No, I just went to the gym because I knew that even if I got cut, I wouldn't be able to cut the tree because I had wanted Headbutt to get me a Heracross. So
Oh yeah, and why I actually stopped trying to go into Elix Forest is because Kumad's Quilava now destroyed me like 5 times in a row.
oh wow.
So
Well,
it's like,
under this precinct, I think we should just forego the important battle death and just play it regular.
yeah, we're gonna do that.
He's like, praise
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes.
I got my save.
Oh,
Awesome.
even better. That's awesome.
Yep.
I
Yeah. Just have to
so
remember how to do that again.
so not only is of course Butterfree weak to fire, right? That makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
But the Quilava was like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 levels higher than my team, and by the time I got to Quilava, he just wrecked my whatever was left over of my team. He was like, obviously I can't beat Kumad yet, so we're gonna go to Bugsy. And I looked up, I can't get Headbutt prior to knowing cut anyway, so it was a fruitless endeavor. So I went and took my anger out on Bugsy. It took 2 tries, but because Scyther is pretty strong.
Yes, he leads with Scyther in these
Yes.
games. So
Yes.
remember that, guys.
So I was able to paralyze Scyther with Cheryl, and then Pacific just annihilated the rest of his team. But I ended the leg with 3 Pokemon on the team. Pacific, the Magby at level 16, and its ability is Flame Body, which is pretty nice. So physical contact with Magby has a chance to burn, which is nice. Cheryl, the Butterfree at level 14, and its ability is Compound Eyes. So we got that extra accuracy, which is nice. And then Fury, the Spinnerack at level 15, and it knows Insomnia, which I think means it cannot be put to sleep, if I'm remembering right. So yeah, that was the team after leg 1. How was Bugsy for you, Kumino?
All right. Well, I got it here in the notes. Bugsy led with Scyther, and I had Kaido out because I needed to get that XP up from the swaps. So I brought out Felicia because she has Rock Tomb. I could not tell you where I got Rock Tomb from. I think I got it in Union Cave on the 2nd floor. I'm not sure. Scyther hit with Silver Wind, did 1/3 of damage. Felicia hit with Rock Tomb, bringing it to a little over half. I healed up to survive another hit. Scyther went for Ominous Wind for some reason, but it did poop for damage. Then it hit with a Silver Wind, but Felicia was able to get a KO with the Rock Tomb. Metapod came out, and I switched back to Kaido. Then brought out Moon. Metapod did something. I was watching Soul Eater, so I didn't see what it did, but it did not hurt Moon, so I was okay. Moon landed the peck. Metapod slowed Moon down with String Shot. Moon hit another peck, and Metapod used Harden. I decided to go for an Uproar to hurry up and get Metapod out of there. Then Kakuna came out. I did another switcheroo. Brought out Patricia this time. Kakuna used Harden. Patricia O-Code with a Gus. Ended the battle. Gained the Hive badge and ability to use Cut Outside of Battle, and got TM89 U-Turn. My end of leg 1 team was Kaido, the Magikarp, at level 18, has Swift Swim as an ability. Marvin the Magnemite at level 19 with Sturdy. Moon the Hoot Hoot at level 18 with Keen Eye. Felicia the Sandshrew at level 18 with Sandvale. And Patricia the Pidgeotto at level 19 with Keen Eye.
Love her name. Patricia. Yeah. So that wraps it up for leg 1.
Yep.
So we want to know what your teams are looking like after leg 1, which one of our ROMs you decided to roll with, which gym leaders appealed to you guys. That would be nice. So leave a comment, let us know, or let Dad know that each leg is 2 gyms, so he remembers for next time.
Right.
But other than that, thank you guys so much. Check out the Patreon if you'd be so kind. If you're interested in how to support us, you can showboys.com. You could go to showboysmedia.com if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you can go to patreon.com/showboyspodcast. We have an Ace Trainer tier, $3 a month. You can sign up, help keep the lights on around here, which I apparently need some more on the porch because it's looking pretty dark. But yeah, check it out. Patreon.com/showboyspodcast. Check out Kumino over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Kumino or
Kuna the Dawn.
Oh, there you go. Link's always in the description, so check that out. Give him a follow. And we'll see you next time for leg 2 of the season 6 GymLocke.
Right. Peace out. Oh, also
Peace.
remember, if you are capable of doing the editing for the ROM yourself, you can always do that for yourself, and you can pick from whatever gym leaders that you want that's available on the list.
Sure.
Just shake it up for yourself.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
Yeah. I'll turn our spreadsheet into a PDF and throw it in Discord. So join the Discord. Link in the description. We'll see you next week for leg 2. Bye.
Peace.